Welcome to the Issue Reset podcast.
And today we're in the room with Idle Noise. So first off, how do you all get into the band? Like, how do you meet each other? Everything like that.
The current Idle Noise lineup is a bit of a weird concoction of, whatever has come about. Really, I think I was in the band first with our current guitarist Alex, just joining slightly after he replaced somebody else that left, and then our bassist left. So we knew DC from sort of the local music scene. He was doing events around Cov at the time, so he was pretty well known, one of the faces. He likes to enjoy being. And he just went, "Yeah, I'll join. I'll be a bassist if you want." It wasn't until after that I found out he didn't really play the bass. So yeah,
I lied. I'm a fraud. I lied my way in.
Fair enough.
Just wanted to be part of the best band in the world. So
yeah, they were busy though, so he go and does.
Make it, you make it. It's fine.
Yeah, that's it.
So how did you get into the music industry as well? Like, how do you decide, let's get a band together, let's start making music?
Do you know what? I don't even know. I think you might be the best place to answer this one, DC, because you've been doing it probably longer than I have in terms of that.
Well, you were on the circuit at the same time as me, just in different bands. I think it was the Enemy's first album, We'll Live and Die in These Towns. That's what kind of pulled me into wanting to make music. I'm from Coventry. They're from well, they're not quite from Coventry, but they say they are. Close enough. So it was like, if these lads could do it, then anyone can. And it turns out anyone can't. But we can try. We can try.
That's what matters, right? If you try, it's all
Give
good.
it a go.
I was in various bands. I didn't really learn how to play an instrument for a couple of years. I just kind of fronted a band when I was 13, I think, and then learned how to play the guitar badly, and then I played the drums in a few bands, so multi-instrumentalist. And then Ben asked if I could play the bass. I said yes, and here we are.
Yeah, turns out you still can.
I enjoy a challenge, so here we are.
Yeah.
Learning every instrument.
Really. Yeah, I think it's just
how you decide. I don't know. It's a passion, isn't it? Like you've got to really enjoy it. We certainly enjoy making music as a collective, and individually. Like Ben will play some stuff on his own, for like covers and stuff, especially throughout COVID. I did the same. Alex did the same. But then collectively we make like the idle noise, the noise of the idle people.
Yeah. So what inspires most of your songs then? Is it like an experience or an event, or does it just come to you?
Heartbreak.
Heartbreak.
Common theme.
Pretty much. Yeah, that's it. I think in my life, if you want a song about just ruin my life. That's it. That's absolutely it. I think people say like, "Oh, can I have a song about me?" Like your mates and that. I can have a song about me. Not really done anything. No, not really done anything. But it's just that. I think everything's always related to something, even if you then kind of take it away and add a little bit more to it that's maybe not quite, bang on the narrative of your life. Because I think if everybody just wrote about everything that happened to them in life, we'd have some very boring music about. No one cares that you've been to Tesco or whatever. But stuff like that. Yeah, it's just something that starts like, and you can just have like a random line that you might think of that's got nothing to do with anything, and then you kind of think in your head, oh, well, that kind of is like subconsciously where I'm at, and then it's kind of goes from there. Really. So everything is pretty much. I don't think there's any tunes that we've got that are.
About
don't mean something. Nothing's ever lyrically just just totally random and it hasn't got no connection to anything. But they're not always they might be about the same thing. I think 90% of the tunes are about the same last. So lucky or unlucky for us.
Get heartbroken and dominoes into loads of songs.
Yeah. Death to Modern Life in particular. I think that's death to that woman. No,
Whoa.
Terrible person, yeah, terrible person.
Not
We're getting
quite.
some
I can't
great
like her
content
anything.
here.
Great content.
I'm joking.
Yeah, no death wishes anywhere.
No. No.
No, absolutely not. That's a go.
Who's your biggest music idols in the music industry? Like, who do you look up to, inspires your music? I was thinking that was a waste, but it wasn't say anything in case we got it wrong.
Easy.
It's a big mix, isn't it?
You've just got a wall full of them.
There's
That's
a
literally
massive,
what I've got up there. So
it's just
Yeah, I
like a
mean-
massive mix of everything that everything is like the latest tune. I think we said if you, not that we like to compare and say, oh, it sounds like this and this, but there's like 10 bands that we listen to where you could say, oh, that's a bit like them, and then that's a bit like them. You know, I mean, it's like it's such a massive hybrid of things. So with me, it's always whatever I'm listening to at the time. I think like if I got back into the Vaccines again about a year or two ago, and was just like massively obsessed with them for about a month or so, and then that's when you start hearing things in their songs or anyone that you're really into at the time and going, oh, like that's a cool way of doing something. I'd like to do something along them lines, even if it's just like a certain way they're doing the melody or some kind of structure that they've got going on. You just think, oh, I'd never normally think of that. So you just kind of get influence from there. So I wouldn't say maybe the Strokes if you wanted like a general one for me, because they always kind of, that's who I always come back to in terms of like favorites and like things going in a circle. No matter where I go on the tangent, I seem to find myself back with the Strokes. So I'd probably say they were the biggest direct one. Maybe them and the Enemy, probably like hand in hand.
I mean, the Strokes are great. So
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you proved that there. So
of course,
you're on the money.
only the best bands on my wall. But no, literally, I'll get obsessed like a band for like a month, listen to like everything they've ever put out, and then I'll just move on to the next band. And that is.
Yeah.
Oh wow! So we've not got a long-standing fan.
No, not like that. Imagine.
Brilliant.
But
I'll tell you what, forget the end of
By
the
the time
year
this
out.
comes out, Caitlin's just like, who the fuck is Iron Eyes? Like, fuck these guys.
Yeah. When the
don't like
issue
them
comes
anymore.
out, I'm not even going to bother. I just won't put it out. It's not interested
Brilliant, cheers.
anymore.
Nobody else. No, well, everybody else does the same. So yeah,
Yeah.
just join the queue of people that don't like idle noise.
Really a bit of self-deprecation there.
No. No. You
That's
sound
no,
great, man.
but if we're talking like Corteen is definitely influenced Ben. You gotta love that. I heard Corteen as in some of the tracks that I weren't even part of, like before I joined.
Yeah, I think lyrically, Liam Frey's. I really like the off the cuff stuff that he does. Like just like kind of Declan McKenna does the same. Really, I think you just kind of hear a line of something. He's just like one little quip that's obviously just meant to be some kind of comedic factor, and they've just gone, oh, you squeeze that in there, that's fine, and it just comes off the top of your head. I love stuff like that. So yeah, if I ever think of anything like that, then I do try and make sure it gets put in there. If you can find a joke or something or some kind of humorous line, and then people listen to it and go, oh, that's pretty good. That's what I do when I'm listening to things. So I'm like, if I can have that same thing, then yeah, certainly as a lyrical aspect, yeah, I definitely steal that from Liam Frey. Really, I've got no shame there.
So 5 words. How would you describe your music to someone who's never heard it before?
Go on.
I don't know.
Well, no, we've got it in. I think we hit the nail on the head in the bio. I think. Let me find the bio. Where are we?
I think the bio is like infectious hooks, stomping choruses, and huge stage presence.
Exactly that. There we go.
That is that.
Oh,
But that's 7 years.
Infectious hooks, stomping, stage presence, bosh.
Yeah.
Love it.
That's 5 words.
Great.
That's 5 words.
Sums it all up.
Just
Amazing.
decent. Just we are good. We're all right.
Decent.
There's your
We're all
5
right.
words. Just decent. We are good. That's what you can say.
If you could
It's-
work on. Oh wait, sorry.
It's
You
a
go.
difficult question to answer, really. Like, we obviously enjoy what we do. We wouldn't make the music if we didn't enjoy it. But like to kind of to put adjectives to like what we are, it's pretty difficult. We're traveling in a direction at the minute that we think is working for us. Like we finally found idle noise idle noises sound, trying to be like anthemic.
That's it. There you go. There's one of them.
Yeah.
Big, loud, catchy, anthemic.
Sing-alongy.
Yeah.
Yes.
In the dictionary for sure. But
Yeah.
put that in the bio, honestly. Love it.
Sing-alongy.
No chance.
We're going to see it afterwards and we're like, that's all I'm doing, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
But
Enough of that.
if you could work on one song of literally like any artist, dead or alive, literally anyone, who would it be and why?
Define work on.
Write with, produce, sing, I don't know. Or any like,
Go on a
music-
tour with.
Specifically
Yeah.
the song.
sorry,
Specifically on a song though, rather than just with that artist. Like,
yeah, or an
Okay.
album.
ooh.
That's hard. I think like currently, I not even to like work on anything. But I just fancy going for a pint with Sam Fender. I feel like
Oh,
a big geezer.
up there. You see?
But
Oh, he's there now.
there we
Yeah.
are. I saw.
You've
Well,
got like
I
a
see-
never-ending wall of stuff that just goes all.
Yeah, it just
Oh,
keeps
yeah.
going up. Honestly.
That's
My
that's
whole
my
Spotify playlist. All the best
That's
people.
that's us.
That's us. We're on your own wall.
Yeah, that is us.
man.
I'll have to get your
Amazing.
mine.
That was
Yeah,
that
do
was my
that.
first.
You can do
I
a
mean-
graphic of us, and then
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll make a poster for you. It's great.
That was my
At
first.
Caitlin's posters on Instagram. You can buy them. They're all Arctic Monkeys there at the moment. So if you don't
That's
like
fine.
them, it's all good.
big Arctic Monkeys fans.
There you go. They sell some posters.
Yeah. I'd probably have to go down the album route on this one, but I probably will want like a current one and a not current one. So I think I'd love to have worked on either Strokes' New Abnormal
Mhm.
album and Wolf Alice's latest one the weekend, because that is
Listen to that.
absolutely
been
incredible. album.
Not listening to it for like ages. I really just need to listen to it.
That's a
I
great
see
album.
it literally everywhere. And I'm like, why don't I listen to them?
But I didn't even like them. Like I'd never listened to them before, and then something happened. I think it was that Last Man on the Earth they put out, and I was just like, I heard it on the radio a lot at work. I was like, God, I need to go and listen to these. I've still not heard their first two albums, but I've rinsed the third one like massively. So then, yeah, them two currently. Then maybe like, it's shameful, but I would have fucking loved to have worked on MCR's Black Parade album. Favorite albums going. I think one of the best albums of the Noise, hands down. So I would, kill to have worked on any of them three.
Nice one.
Absolutely.
Well, Wolf Alice won a Brit, didn't they, this year? Same with Sam Fender.
Yeah, I think this latest one was their first #1. I think.
Yeah.
So fair play to them. Yeah, they've been smashing it out for like the last
Mhm.
10 years and like that.
It's the same with me. I didn't rate. Well, not that I didn't rate them. I didn't really give them a listen until I went to see them. Went to see them. They blew me away, and I was like, right, fan. I enjoy. Very good.
I will listen.
Enjoy.
Very good.
What's your albums, Stacey?
Hey.
What's your albums you would have wanted to work on? I'm intrigued on yours. Yeah.
Arctic Monkeys Humbug.
Yes.
It's a great
all I'm
album.
saying is yes. What?
Either-
Only Humbug?
Either Humbug or Suck It and See. They were two albums that stood out for me for Arctic Monkeys. I was having this conversation the other day. First album and second album,
Mhm.
I actually wouldn't go back and revisit and to like enjoy.
What's your thoughts on Tranquility Base?
I can
Thank you.
I can
I think it's a
dabble.
great album.
I can dabble,
Okay.
but it's not. Yeah.
I
Dunno.
love it.
Yeah.
I think it's their best album.
I think it's amazing.
Just love it.
Lyrical masterpiece.
It's just mental. There's your example actually of things. This is what I love about any lyrics that I hear.
Mm.
Anything. Well, that's probably the reason I wouldn't think of them is because I'm not as clever as these lyricists. But just stuff that you hear and think, never in a million years would I have thought to put that in a song. Like when he's doing the whole
whatever he's doing.
hitchhiking with a monogram suitcase.
Yeah.
You know, like who's thinking
that?
oh, we think about my suitcase has got a monogram on it. No one's going down that route. So it just baffles me how anybody's brain gets to that point. So that's what I just, if I hear lyrics like that, I just love it. That's what makes me in awe of people.
Literally, I mean, that's the whole album. You thinking, how the hell did he come up with this? Like,
yeah, sometimes why, but yeah, I'll take it. It's
but I think it's great, and like all the imagery, beautiful. You can buy a poster for that. Whoa, I'm really getting the plug in. Right? Thanks.
Yeah, that's perfect salesmanship.
Yeah, it's like my own sales assistant.
So, if you could go back to the start of your music career, what's the one piece of advice that you'd give your younger self that you've learned now?
Give up.
I was just about to say,
don't do it.
Just don't bother.
We'll save a lot of time, a lot of money. And
That's
a
new one that we've had.
Yeah, it's the first time someone's said that.
That's the first time.
It takes a lot of commitment to be in a band. Like, it's a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of patience, a lot of money, and in reality, all of it is for, you know, like there's only a handful of bands that actually ever break through the mold. So if you genuinely don't have a love and passion for it, and you're not doing it to achieve anything massive, like we do this because we love it, and we like playing in front of 300, 400 people in Cov is kind of, well, I'd love more, but that's as big as this will probably get for us. If it ever got any bigger, it'd be fantastic, but we do it like that's our Wembley. So but yeah, this is like if you've got a passion for it, then do it, like, and just be good at it, like, just give it a go, have a blast.
When, as they say in the old in the gambling world, when the fun stops, stop.
All right,
probably it.
All right, Paddy Power.
Would have said to me some years ago. I think what I probably would have, bar don't do it, I probably would have said, if it comes to a point where you're not enjoying it, sack it off. And I would have done that a long time ago if that was the case.
Are you enjoying it now?
Well, I'm in too deep, as some 41 said. And that's it. You know, well, you get so far in, it's one of them. It's like that picture you see where there's two geezers digging an hole down a tunnel, and one of them gives up and walks away.
He's just by the diamond.
Yeah, that far away from the diamond. It's like you keep thinking, what if? And that's how gambling addictions start. You think, I'm only a pound away from the million, and then you've got no house and you're dead on the street.
Yeah.
So maybe that'll be us soon. That's it. But you just got to try. I don't like what ifs. I really don't like what ifs. So I just annoyingly just keep plodding along.
We've worked fairly hard at what we're doing, and we've got some pretty good shows that are coming up that are to be announced. There's one to be announced on Wednesday morning, and I think the other one will be coming later this week or next week, which should put us in front of different audiences, and in turn we might gain a couple more fans. Yeah, it's pretty big. Yeah. We're playing Coventry, HMV Empire, 10th June.
There's your plug.
Ruthless plug, yeah. Jack Cattell, Munich, the Mucks, and Spiral City are in support. So that'll be a good night. We're halfway to selling that out, which is decent.
Yeah, that's good, and it'll be much closer to the sellout once Wednesday's news comes out. I think
we're being announced as the main support for the Libertines at Godiva Festival.
I'm going to see the Libertines at Victoria's Festival in Portsmouth.
Awesome.
And them, absolutely sick. I'm only going because Soundfender's playing, but and then there's Libertines. That's great. The Libertines, geez, all right.
Yes.
Nice one. Sorry, a bit slow on that.
Hang on. He said that, didn't he? He said that.
So, what has been the biggest challenge in your career so far?
I like how we're referring to this as a career. I thought it was just
You know, say, the challenge has been the career.
Your music
But-
career.
a career seems to insinuate that we get paid for this. Like we
You
don't
said
get paid
fake it
to
till you
play.
make it. Come on.
Yeah, fake it till you make it. We've got to manifest it.
Yeah, this is you're right. I'm probably shooting us down a little bit. Yeah. Our music career, biggest challenge.
Music
Probably
career.
working with Ben.
Whoa, shots. Same with the
biggest
disher, to be
fucking
honest.
joy is working with you.
Okay.
Joking. No, I'm joking.
You can answer that one, Ben.
Do you know what? I don't even know. I think
You just enjoy it too much.
Yeah, we can really see that.
You read back on these answers, you will not look at that. I think it's just the motivation. I think the motivation is probably the biggest thing, really. Like to keep, pushing yourself on when there's a lot of setbacks. There's a lot of negatives. And you go to somebody and you try and get a big gig with like a touring band, the band that you love, and then you message their agent. And you're like, oh, can we maybe support these? I live like 30 seconds away from the venue. We could bring people down. We can actually do something on this, and then you just get like blanked or something like that, or something's going to come off and then it falls through. It's just little things like that. And there's a lot of things that are setbacks and kind of put you down. And you question yourself, your creativity as well, because you see like other bands around that are putting out really, really great music, and you're like, are we as good as them? Like, can I do that? Or or you write a good tune, and you put it out, and you think, how many more of these have I got? It's just that. I think it's the self-doubt, really. That's the biggest challenge in any creative industry, I'd say, and especially this one. It's just anything where you kind of put yourself out there and have to keep doing things, and you've got your own kind of ideas to put out. It really is motivation and self-doubt and just perseverance, really. That's the challenge.
It's definitely like consistency. Definitely now, like everything's online, and you can see like numbers for like everything.
Yeah.
It's like, if I'm not getting the same numbers as somebody else, what am I doing wrong?
Yeah.
I mean,
And then you think, do I just not bother with it? And you kind of, it's a slippery slope from there.
We're seeing like we have seen an increase in interest in our stuff, but just to back what you said up, I think one of the other challenges is that it's like, I feel like this industry is very much, it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Yeah,
1,000%. And it's a case of, I don't know, being in bed with someone, like you've kind of got to sleep with the enemy to get anywhere.
Sell your soul in the industry straight away.
Yeah, and we're not really those kind of people, so it makes life difficult. We have been overlooked for a while. Like, we're starting to kind of get a little bit of clout, and it's nice to kind of see numbers go up. Like, our numbers are nowhere near where other bands are, but our numbers are increasing, and we're happy enough with those. If we get a couple more, that'd be like even better. Like, it's been a slow, like, over the past couple of years. I think COVID really gave us a knockback, because whilst we were there's other bands that were like working on things, whereas we kind of just hit a brick wall. The lack of motivation. We benefit most out of being in a rehearsal space together. So where we didn't have that communication and that level of interaction, it really like messed with the band's infrastructure. But I'm talking like I'm like a director of something here. The band's infrastructure. Who do I think I am? I'm like, this is a work. This is a work too.
Yeah, we're like actually interviewing you to work here. Like,
yeah, this is.
You not get the memo.
No, well, I've got the job.
How much does it pay? Does it pay more than this?
We didn't make any money from this.
Well, there you go then.
Literally nothing. Like,
It's
you lose money.
Non-profit business.
There's the business.
Well, yeah,
Same
that's
time
fine.
noise.
That's the business.
Had like 5 minutes of those lockdown session covers, and we got involved in it, but I don't know. It was the not playing shows. Like, the shows are really what do it for us. Like, it's nice, and that's another challenge as well. So you can have a show as big as the one where we played with Candid in November in front of, like, a good couple of hundred people. And then we played at the Dark Horse in Moseley in front of, I think, 5, and one of them was a sound engineer and my mate and the other band.
Yeah,
That's soul destroying.
So, what are your goals for this year then? What do you want to achieve?
Keep progressing, really. I think we've got a new single. God knows when it's due out now, but we have got a new single due out, and the plan is to have 3 singles out this year, and then obviously we got that massive show at Godiva, which is pretty solid for us. We've got the headline coming up, which is the biggest headline we've ever done as well. So yeah, it's a year of the most singles we put out in a year, the biggest headline we've ever done, and it will be the biggest show we've ever done with the biggest band we've ever supported, like, you know, in terms of music industry stature. So it's 2022 is certainly the biggest year for the band. I think it's just a case of using the opportunities as best we can to make sure that obviously, you know, the singles are good and they get the right promotion, the right you know, exposure, so we can just keep bringing people in. Like DC was saying earlier, we've certainly noticed an increase in sort of numbers on social media and things like that, and certainly an increase in Spotify monthly listeners and things like that. But when we've not really done anything, so it's just like just, you know, just natural traction and growth. So I think, yeah, we're just making sure that everything gets the right exposure and the right promotion this year, so that each time we do a single or we do a big gig, it's just upwards, really. So as long as we get to the end of this year and kind of look back and say, because that doesn't always happen, actually, you know, you can look back and go, might have wasted that year or could have done better there. As long as you get to the end of this one and go, solid, like we did everything we could there, you know, we did well, and that's it.
You can make like the best music ever, like now, and then like TikTok don't pick it up. You know what I mean? But like, it's the whole algorithms and stuff like that. It's just like, if you don't pick it up, then, you know what I mean? That's just hard.
We're trying to jump on that bandwagon, but it's proving it's proving hard.
It's just weird. No one really gets TikTok, but here we are.
No, I could talk to you about TikTok all day, but we won't go there. Don't get me started.
DC knows about the algorithms. It's just getting the content, I think, is our problem. Like, we're not Instagram influencers, so we don't really do the whole, you know, like constantly taking photos of each other in the studio and you know, filming things and making bits of content. So we find ourselves without anything.
I thought you were literally like Kim Kardashian. What?
Well, yeah. No, I haven't got the money for that, unfortunately.
Got the money.
Maybe one day I'll be able to buy the champagne on my ass, and then that's fine. That's a success.
As it goes.
We're
in rehearsal
tomorrow night. And you Kim Kardashian. So
challenge accepted, Ben. Tomorrow night.
I'll be waiting for that.
That's going to be a new challenge.
You've done a show with the Libertines, and then afterwards you're popping a champagne in your ass. You know, that's how it just goes.
Oh, I can't do that. I'm looking at all of their faces. That's
fair enough.
1,000%. I'll get sectioned for it, but it's happening.
Yeah.
No, as
man in small band licks Pete Doherty's face and goes to prison.
That's a headline. We'll release it.
I know. Yeah.
A load of viewers and readers and whatnot. But as we are a fashion music magazine, would you class yourself as very fashionable people? You know, are you Kim Kardashian? Who knows?
We just wear clothes. Ben's the man that wears the most risky stuff. The out there. The out there clubber. He wears flares. You wouldn't see me in flares.
Love some good flares.
Not tall enough for flares.
I do love some good flares.
He's got a jacket with tassels on it.
Yeah.
Like a cowboy.
Yeah.
That's coming to Glasgow with me, that is. And that's the amount of absolute JPEGs that are going to get taken there.
I love it though. I mean, if you don't have fashion, then, you know, just be basic. Yeah,
I would say I'd like to think of myself as relatively fashion focused and conscious. DC kind of is and isn't. He don't really bother about trends, but he knows how to like look smart on stage.
I like I know how to dress smart. I would say my clobber is fairly similar to LG,
Yeah.
Stone Island, Clark's.
I mean,
What are you laughing for? That's
I'm
genuine.
not. No, but we did like a podcast episode, like was talking about the Brits. You know, the Brits, when he wore what he was wearing on his head, I do not know.
The hat.
The hat.
Yeah, like a
That
Stone
was
Island.
a cracker of a headpiece. Like,
I
honestly.
don't wear silly hats. Look, mind. Just
No, I think you
No,
should. Whip it out for the Libertines. No. Just bowl
Well,
up like a.
anything goes. That's like a 15,000 cap crowd. Anything goes. I do what the fuck I want on that night.
He's not what's
I am
fucking happening.
Jesus.
So how did you come up with your name? Idle Noise.
That's for Ben.
I really don't know. So we were I was in a band for a couple of years, and then we played Godiva. We did main stage Godiva festival and split up the same day because I was fed up with the other lads. And I was like, I've done this. That's it. I've done now. Like that's I've hit my cap. That's my roof. Opening a festival to like 20 people, even though it's a tiny crowd. Main stage is fine. So we got rid of that band, and then I think that same evening started a different one. And we were called the Frontiers, which I took from the Adamants tune "Kings of the Wild Frontier," because I was just going through my iTunes library, just flicking through things like what song name, take the band. And then I did a lot of research on socials and internet and all that, going, no one's called Frontiers, like that's absolutely fine. And then I opened NME about a week later, and there was a 2-page spread on a band called Frontiers, which spelt it with double E instead of IE. And I was like, you'd throw me off the scent there, aren't you? Then we had to work rather quickly, because obviously we were expecting to get into the NME the following week, it would seem. We rather quickly had to change the band name, and just threw a load of stuff out. And I don't even know where I always came from, but it just did. I think that was the one where we were going, yeah.
Fair enough.
Right.
I mean, that's like with ours. We kind of just thought the reset kind of sounded cool, so we just went with it. But now, obviously, if you Google,
When you
if you
search
reset,
up, it's like reset your
reset,
problem,
set my password.
fixing stuff.
Didn't think about that one when I started it, but here we are now, so we're just rolling with it. If you could play one song on repeat right now, what's it going to be and why? Look on your Spotify, what you're playing.
What am I?
Yeah, shout actually.
That's what I was before. I was like, what have I been playing?
I'm absolutely rinsing a band called Father Son. A song called Sleeping Over. You should give Father Son a listen. They are very good. Scottish band, really good band.
Nice.
One of my favourites.
I honestly couldn't even tell you.
No.
Could not even tell you.
Listening to everything.
Well, when I get in the car and go to work, I just tell Siri to shuffle my music, and that's it. I don't really, unless I'm kind of hooked on a, unless I like you were saying, Kelly, like you get sort of fixed on a band for a month or so. There was a point where the Vaccine's 4th album, I did the first 3 tunes of that 4th album 3 times a day, because my journey to work was like as long as them tunes. So I was back and forth, and then if I was going to the shop or the gym or something like that, back and forth, and but just the same 3. It wasn't like I just I'll let the album shuffle. So I did them 3 tunes over and over again for about a month, I think, multiple times a day. And now I'm just not arsed with them.
Can't listen to it. You literally get like.
Yeah, I don't really know. I couldn't tell you. Even scrolling down the list, I wouldn't really say I'm not.
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I'm not even that bothered really.
Do you have like a song of the day then?
Song of the day.
Song that's been on shuffle today.
I've got a few.
Yeah, you go for that, DC, and I'll
get back to you.
Red Rum Club, Vibrate.
Tune. I had that on this morning actually. Yeah.
Good tune. Taking it back a little bit to Peace from In the Liquid Glass. Great track.
Oh, that is I've probably got like 5 then. 4 or 5 that I'd say I would put on repeat. There's a band called Parcels from Australia. They've got a tune called Tied Up Right Now, which is just a proper groove. And do you know what? Yeah, the first time I heard that, the same journey to work, like only 10 minutes long, and I just had that on repeat because I was like, because it's only like 2 and a bit minutes. The problem was you get to the end and that needs to carry on, so you just go back to the start and just enjoy it. Yeah, that Shadow Puppets, Miracle Lana. Anything off Billie Eilish's second album,
Yeah.
really enjoying. Freedom by Wham.
Jeez, all right. Yeah.
Massive tune, absolutely massive tune. The biggest sing-along tune there is, I think.
Now, when that comes on at
stand by
work,
that.
so I work in a coffee shop, so I'll be like, that comes on the speakers. I'm just like making some coffee, singing along, and these regulars are like, "What is she doing?" I'm like, "Sorry, I'm having a good time, mate. Like, chill out." But here we are.
What you got to do? Yeah, I used to work in a petrol station, and we had Absolute Radio on quite often. But like at night time, they'll whack out a decent weight. Like I think they put Acquiesce on my waist at one point, and I was like turn it up, and people were coming in like it's a bit loud, isn't it? I was like, it's fine. Come on, man. Hope you feel. Go.
Come on, go.
I don't remember how to play our songs.
I
So.
don't know the bass to make songs, so it's fine.
Yeah, but is he a bass player? He didn't even know how to play bass.
I don't know what you.
No, I stand there. We just track in the bass, and I just stand there and pretend to play it. It's essentially I'm basically the Justin Bieber of Cov.
Now that is a quote. I am using that.
Justin Bieber. Yeah.
Essentially the Justin Bieber of Coventry. Like that's you can have that. You can have that. That can be the tagline of the
free. We won't copyright for that one.
Ben's just like disappearing into like the night.
Lights from the fucking. Hang on, let me stand up a bit.
These two have got like good lighting. Me and him are just like
No,
it's
it's just like the. It's just the actual sun.
yeah,
Like natural daylight, and it's going away.
and it's just ending, so it's a great time. No, I'm joking. But
Yeah, now we can see you. Fuck off.
yeah,
We will wait
No,
for
well, I
an
wouldn't-
idol noise poster on your wall that you've made. That's the. That's what
that's
we
the
need to
dream.
wait. Oh,
I'll
it was
make
the
a poster.
dream, but it's the current. It's the
What do you
current
mean?
fad.
When we said what's your goals for the end of this year, that was what you were thinking.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Young Caitlin's
Be an
wall.
A3 poster. That's
Yeah,
my goal.
I'll make you a poster. It's all good.
I mean, I'm on.
You're on your own wall. So
Yeah,
Ah, yeah. See, there's the actual Death of My Life poster.
exactly. Anyways, this is gonna
Awesome.
act way too long, and I said that like 10 minutes ago, but here we are.
Yeah, apologies
All
for
good.
taking some time, but thank you very much for having us.
Yes.
Thank you very much for the interview. And
Very nice to meet you both.
It was
Nice to
lovely
meet
speaking to
you.
you too.
we'll be
Awesome.
back.